Stop number 9 of the Sunoco Cup Series comes to the Paperclip known as Martinsville half-mile paperclip, that is. For the 50-lap Subway 500. Let's take a look at our points before we go into our starting grid. It is still Keon Shaw leading with 1,298 points over the second spot Ray Castor. Then it is Zach Carlson, Stephanie Naylor, and Eric Matthews will round out the top 10. Then 6 through 10 will consist of Connor Breton, Liam Campbell, Colin CROPLEY, our winner at Las Vegas, Josh Osborne, and our only rookie in the top 10, Trent Dunham in the 0, will round out in the 10th spot. So with that said, let's take a look at our starting grid here at Martinsville, the Subway 500. On the pole, qualifying at 95.801 miles an hour is the number 43 STP Pontiac of Eric Matthews. And on the outside will be the number 90 Splitfire Spark Plugs Ford of Alex Filter. Row number 2 will consist of the number 26 Quaker State Buick of James Qualls, and our winner at Talladega, the number 36 Cox Treated Lumber Pontiac of Jonathan Gators. Row number 3 will consist of the number 81 Daly's Juices Pontiac of Nick Baxter, and the reigning Sunoco Cup Series champion, number 79 Olds of Chantal Ibarra. Row number 4 will consist of the number 21 Citgo Ford of Ryan Cooper, the number 88 Crisco Pontiac of Stephanie Naylor. Row number 5 will take place with the number 18 Interstate Battery Chevy of Connor Breton, and the number 98 Winn-Dixie Planners Olds, Chevy, of Daniel Schwab. Row number 6 will consist of Faith Johnson, the Busch Series champion, Sasha Dawson, the reigning event champion. Row 7 will consist of our winner at North Wilkesboro, Skylar Harris, and our Daytona winner, Dylan Kilburn. Row 8 will take place with Ray Castor and Colin CROPLEY. Row 9 will be Dylan Hughes and Dylan Poteet in all Dylan Row. Then it will be Zach Carlson and Johnny Gardner. Austin Hughes and Tim Walsh will follow them. Dylan Ruiz, our winner at Bristol, and Liam Campbell. John Acosta and Bob Marshall. SKYLYNN Carlson and our points leader Keon Shaw. Levi Shones and Kathy Cantaro will follow them. Trey Campbell and John Dawson. Then it will be Joseph Lombard and Trent Dunham. Keith Batson and Jennifer Hughes will follow them. Alexander Dawson and Justin Acosta will follow suit. Then it will be Michael Dawson and Tim FIEGEL. And rounding out the field will be the number 63 Pontiac of Josh Osborne and the number 82 Ford of Fred Christopher. That's your starting grid here at Martinsville. 50 laps. Let's go in. We took care of our business there. Let's go into getting this party started here at the Paperclip. Half mile, take 2 drag strips, put corners on them, and that's what you get, Martinsville. There's your command to start it up.
Drivers, start your engines!
There we go. Eric Matthews, who has been consistent but has not gotten any wins. But when you have someone like Keon Shaw, it's been cutthroat these last few races. It's kind of hard to have a good year. Eric, who won the Coca-Cola 600 in season 1, had a very good showing at the Save Mart Supermarket 300 at Sears Point. Part of the Dylan Poteet team. Skylar Harris, and they are probably good contenders to get the team award. As Eric Matthews takes a huge jump on things, and that can usually spell trouble when it comes to knowing who's going to win this race. James Qualls slips into second. Oh, we got a little slapped by Nick Baxter back there. James Qualls, who actually finished solid here last season, as there's still 3 wide mid over there with Jonathan Gators and Alex Filter. James Qualls will slip into the number 2 spot nicely. Nick Baxter's going to go for the number 3 spot, taking it from our Talladega winner, Jonathan Gators. Ryan Cooper right there. They're still battling tooth and nail, 3 wide back here with Nick Baxter taking the 3 spot. Now Jonathan Gators Gators has got to hold off Ryan Cooper. He's stuck in the middle. And we're under yellow. Eric Matthews win the race back to the line. Looks like Austin Hughes was involved in this situation here. Let's see what happened with Austin Hughes. Yep, it was Austin Hughes, and actually was not the reason per se. Faith Johnson was the reason. They come out of turn 4. You see Dylan Kilburn make a little bit of a touch on the inside, sending Faith around. Not a very good year for Faith Johnson ever since she made the switch from Sunoco Busch to Sunoco Cup. Zach Carlson took a little bit of a hit. There's where Austin Hughes came into play. Boom. Trey Campbell gets a little bit of a hit too. He goes into the inside wall. Looked like Joseph Lombard got something out of it too. Not very good. Trey Campbell rode that inside wall for a good extended period. Let's see if there's any trigger chain reactions. No. All the while we still had fairness, interest of fair reporting. Ryan Cooper actually going to the extreme inside there too, trying to pass Connor Brayton. Faith Johnson looked like her car just stalled going into the turns. It just died out here, so you see she's just creeping along. And then it just comes to a stop. You see Eric Matthews in the field passing. Faith is back out there. That's the good news. Austin Hughes is too, so that's kind of a silver lining on things. Let's take a look at where we stand in this after 6 laps in the bag. Eric Matthews still leads. James Qualls is second. Nick Baxter's third. Jonathan Gators is fourth. And Alex Filter rounds up the top 5. Then it is Ryan Cooper, Connor Brayton, Shadeli Barra, Daniel Schwab, and Stephanie Ehlers, your top 10. Then it is Dylan Hughes, Dylan Kilburn, Skylar Harris, Ray Castor, Colin Cropley, Johnny Gardner, John Acosta, Dylan Poteet, Tim Walsh, Dylan Ruiz, Zach Carlson, SKYLYNN Carlson, Levi Shones, Liam Campbell, Keon Shaw is 25th right now, our points leader. Bob Marshall, then it's Kathy Kantara, Alexander Dawson, John Dawson, Trent Dunham, Joseph Lombard, Jennifer Hughes, Justin Acosta, Michael Dawson, Keith Batson, Tim FIEGEL, Fred Christopher, Josh Osborne, Sasha Dawson, defending race winner right now, 39th, and then it's Trey Campbell, who's a lap down. Faith Johnson a lap down, Austin Hughes is a lap down. They're probably going to slip up to the inside as we go green flag racing this time by. It'll be lap number 9 of the third 50. So we still got a long ways to go. Are they going to go to the inside? I don't think they will. Well, actually, they probably, yep, they are now, because you can see there's Austin Hughes and gang coming up real fast on the inside to go to the green flag. I don't think they'll make it, though, because we'll be back to green flag racing this time by. They're green. Eric Matthews with another beautiful jump for Eric on James Qualls. Talking about someone else who's looking at Get Help Me Day. James Qualls is looking for that. And we're back under yellow again, I do believe. We weren't even going into a lap, and Keith Batson getting a little bit of a love tap there from courtesy of Fred Christopher. What was up with that? Let's see what happened there with Keith Batson. Getting a little bit of a love tap there, but let's go into what we saw to trigger the yellow. Trey Campbell yet again. They were all trying to get to the center, and that's the thing, they got thrown off because they were going green, and they were trying to beat everybody to the front, and sorry, couldn't do it. They were not able to do it. They got into Daniel Schwab. Faith Johnson getting involved yet again. Austin Hughes getting by, so that was what was our trigger. Dylan Hughes taking a hit. That was what happened. It was a classic case of, quick, get back to the line, get to the line, get to the line for the green flag, and paid the price. Now let's see what happened with Keith Batson. You see right here, he squeezes on by Fred Christopher. I don't think he won the race back to the line per se in that. No, he didn't. So then, he gets a little bit of a touch from Fred Christopher and sends him sliding. But it wasn't much more than just a zephyrish skid for Fred Christopher. It's still apparently a mess. I don't even know what's going on here. Johnny Gardner, I don't know what just happened, so let's see what happened here. Well, I think we've figured everything out now, so Eric Matthews still leads. What happened to James Qualls? What did happen with James Qualls? He's in the wall over here. I gotta see why. What happened? Did he just... What just happened with James Qualls? We saw he was in the field and now he's on pit road. He apparently must have took a pit, came out. His car just died on the turn. He was following Eric Matthews. His car just came to a complete stop. And then it actually... I don't understand what happened here, because he goes into pit. He comes out of pit road. And then he just stopped again. He just had a lot of problems, apparently. James Qualls. Now he's back in, so we're back to green flag racing this time by. Now is still Eric Matthews leading that it is. Nick Baxter, Jonathan Gators, Alex Filter, and Ryan Cooper, your top five. I think we're still... Wait, they're going down the backstretch. Yep, here comes Trey Campbell. They're all going to the inside now in time. Trey Campbell's already there, along with Faith Johnson and Austin Hughes. Also Connor Breton's in sixth. Chantelli Barr, Daniel Schwab, Stephanie Naylor, and Dylan Kilburn rounds out the top five. Up back green flag racing wrap number 16. 45 laps to go. 35 laps to go. And Eric Matthews still leading. And we are still under yellow. Keon Shaw. This is just a mess. Alexander Dawson and Keon Shaw getting involved in that situation. Yep. They went up high. And then Kathy Cantar hits the wall. Keon Shaw rear ends her. Goes into Alexander Dawson and both of them spin. And that obviously triggered our yellow. Yet again. Eric Matthews. And we still got ourselves a mess. I don't even know what's up with this. Once again, let's try this again. Eric Matthews still leads. Jonathan Gators is second. Alex Filter is third. Nick Baxter is fourth. And Ryan Cooper rounds out the top five. Then it is Daniel Schwab, Stephanie Naylor, Chantelli Barra, Skylar Harris, and rounding out the top 10 is Connor Breton. Then it's Ray Castor, John Acosta, Dylan Poteet, Dylan Kilburn, Tim Walsh, SKYLYNN CARLSON, Levi Shones, Dylan Hughes, Dylan Ruiz, Bob Marshall as Faith Johnson goes down pit road. I don't know what's wrong with Faith's car. Then it is Liam Campbell, Zach Carlson, Kathy Cantara, Trent Dunham, Colin CROPLEY, John Dawson, Jennifer Hughes, Justin Acosta, Michael Dawson, Tim FIEGEL. Or she just did a stop and go apparently. Then it's Fred Christopher, Josh Osborne, Sasha Dawson, Johnny Gardner, Alexander Dawson, Keon Shaw, Faith Johnson, who's going to go another lap down. So she's going to get passed here apparently. Joseph Lombard, Austin Hughes, James Qualls, Jennifer Hughes, Faith Johnson, Trey Campbell is 3 laps down, so that's where we stand in this disaster. We'll be back to green flag racing this time by, so it'll be lap number 23 of 50. Let's see if we can go without having to go into another yellow. Off the get-go. Eric Matthews leads. Trey Campbell the inside. Drops back. So far so good. Jonathan Gators following Eric. Jonathan Gators going up high, letting Trey Campbell going inside up. Jonathan Gators slapped the wall a little bit there, losing some ground as Alex Filter's going to take the number 2 spot. Nick Baxter's going to go for 3. James Qualls, who's not on the lead lap, is battling it out there, trying to regain his lap after that stall he had on turn 1. Ryan Cooper's going to pass him. Chantelli Barra is going to make a move up. Trey Campbell starting to drop back. Stephanie Naylor getting passed by Daniel Schwab. Kathy Cantara, I don't know what's wrong with Kathy's car. She's been pitting a lot today. Eric Matthews now has extended his lead. Alex Filter is now in second, and we're back under yellow yet again. SKYLYNN CARLSON. So once again we're back under caution. And we're officially at the halfway point. I think Ray Castor's going to stay on the lead lap. Let's see what happened with SKYLYNN as we're at the halfway point. Zach Carlson on the inside. Uh-oh. There's Dylan Ruiz passing. Zach Carlson just spun his teammate around. Are you kidding me? Into the wall. I got nothing to say. I got nothing on that. I got nothing. SKYLYNN and Zach, that was not what they wanted to have happen. So, fortunately, that was all it really was, so that's the good news. It's still Eric Matthews leading. Alex Filter's now in second. Nick Baxter's third. Jonathan Gators is fourth. Ryan Cooper rounding out the top 5. Then it is Chantelli Barra, Daniel Schwab, Stephanie Naylor, Skylar Harris, Dylan Poteet. A very good day for the Poteet Racing stables. Now they're all in the top 5. Top 10, excuse me. Eric Matthews is first. Ryan Cooper is 5th. Skylar Harris is 9th. Dylan Poteet is 10th. A very good day for the Poteet team. Connor Breton is in 11th. Then it's Dylan Kilburn, Levi Shones, Dylan Hughes, Bob Marshall, Dylan Ruiz, John Acosta, Tim Walsh, Trent Dunham, Zach Carlson, SKYLYNN Carlson, Jennifer Hughes, Justin Acosta, Michael Dawson, Colin CROPLEY, John Dawson, Tim FIEGEL, Josh Osborne, Keith Batson, Fred Christopher, Faith Johnson, Sasha Dawson, Johnny Gardner, Keon Shaw, Alexander Dawson. Then it is Joseph Lombard a lap down, James Qualls a lap down, Austin Hughes a lap down, Liam Campbell a lap down, Bob Marshall, Ray CASTOR a lap down, Kathy Cantara 2 laps down, Faith Johnson 2 laps down, and Troy Campbell still 3 laps down. So that's where we stand. We got we'll have less than 20 laps to go as we go green. It'll probably be lap number 32. We'll be back to green flag racing, so it'll be 19 laps to go as you see the field now starting to get into the groove in the middle. Joseph Lombard, James Qualls. On the inside, Eric Matthews jumps to the lead again. And now we go yellow again. And they're still wrecking over here. We got ourselves a big one, I do believe. Trent Dunham, who's having a sickened car. That car is smoking and we're still crashing. We've had big, even bigger now, and yep, we're at its biggest. How many guys are out of it? We see Trent Dunham is done. And getting a little bit of a touch there from Michael Dawson, John Dawson. Jennifer Hughes is done. Austin Hughes is done. Let's see where the trigger factor happened. What we saw with Austin Hughes that basically started everything. So we saw the first situation, which was right here with Austin Hughes. As they go into the turn 1 and 2, the pace car just coming to a stop, as you can see. Kathy Cantara spinning. Faith Johnson. Dylan Poteet, how about him try to do a driving job there? Faith Johnson getting into Kathy Cantara. That obviously triggered our yellow. And then he gets right up the track, hits Dylan RUIZ, hits Trent Dunham. Dunham pinning Tim Walsh. Zach, the Carlson's involved. The Acosta, Justin Acosta is putting on the binders a little bit. But that's part 1. I know it's not over yet. Connor Breton getting spun by Dylan Poteet. Or actually, the combination of Dylan Poteet and Dylan Kilburn spinning Connor Breton, sending Connor Breton hard into that inside wall, slaps it. Behind them, John Acosta getting spun by Bob Marshall. And then that's where John Dawson hits John Acosta. Jennifer Hughes takes a hit. Keith Batson. Fred Christopher. I mean, this has got to call for a overhead. We're going to have to helicopter this one. Let's start with the first of everything. Let's follow Trent Dunham for the most part. Trent Dunham was probably a victim of all the circumstances. Saves it there for a little while between the Dawson, the Carlsons. Then gets spun by Jennifer Hughes. Gets saved for a second by... There's where everything else happened. Keith Batson. Sasha Dawson, our winner at our event here the season before. Cooper and apparently getting spun. I don't know what happened there. I think we're back to green flag racing now. Let's see. Yep, but we're back to green flag racing, so we'll try to give a lot of time. And Nick Baxter just in time. Nick Baxter just took the lead from Eric Matthews. I don't know what happened there, but Eric Matthews losing the lead to Nick Baxter. James Qualls actually gets back in the lead lap there for a change, as he actually passed both Nick and Eric. So now we have a new leader, Nick Baxter. Try to see how much time I can take on that without having to miss a beat. And we got back to green flag racing though, but it's a new leader, Nick Baxter, just in the nick of time. And we're back under yellow, which will mean James Qualls will get back on the lead lap. How about that? So James Qualls is actually going to get his lap back courtesy of that caution. I know he wanted that one in a bad way. Let's see what was the reason behind the yellow. Trey Campbell going into Ryan Cooper. Dylan Poteet's in it. A day going so well for the Poteet team. Goes south in a snap of a fingers. With Eric Matthews losing the lead and then Ryan Cooper and Dylan Poteet getting involved in something. You saw Dylan Hughes take a little bit of it. Wow, but what about a great save for Colin CROPLEY? He almost went right into Ryan Cooper. Thankfully did not. A tough break for the Cooper team, the Poteet team. So with that, actually, James Qualls will get back on the lead lap, which is actually really good. So good sign for James. This actually moves him up. Let's take a look at where we stand right now as we are getting down to the nitty-gritty of this race. Nick Baxter, your new leader. Alex Filter, second. Eric Matthews is in third. Then it is Jonathan Gators, Daniel Schwab. Followed by Skylar Harris, who's right now trying to get back into the top 5. Chantel Ibarra, Tim Walsh, Bob Marshall, Levi Shones, your top 10. Then it is Stephanie Naylor, Justin Acosta, Michael Dawson, Tim FIEGEL, Colin CROPLEY, SKYLYNN CARLSON, Connor Brinton, Josh Osborne, Alexander Dawson, Keon Shaw, Sasha Dawson, Ryan Cooper, Dylan Poteet, James Qualls, Austin Hughes. I think there's something wrong with Dylan Ruiz's entry as well, as Dylan Ruiz starting to drop. That may be his day coming to an end. But we have Joseph Lombard's 26th, Ray Castor's 27th, then it is Dylan Kilburn, Liam Campbell, Dylan Ruiz, who's looking to be probably out at some point. Yep. So actually Johnny Gardner passes him. Then you have Dylan Ruiz, Faith Johnson, Kathy Cantara, Fred Christopher, Zach Carlson, Trey Campbell, all of which lap downs. Your DNFs so far are John Dawson, John Acosta, Jennifer Hughes, Keith Batson, Trent Dunham, and Austin Hughes. We'll be back to green flag racing though, lap number 6, 46 of 50, so it'll be 5 laps to go for this race. Basically saying, if there's any more yellows, this race is over. And whoever's leading will be your winner. Let's just get right to the point. Green flag getting set to fly. 5 to go for Nick Baxter. Can he hold off the field? There he goes. Alex Filter trying to make move to the inside of Joseph Lombard. Does just that. Third spot now. Jonathan Gators taking it from Eric Matthews. Filter now goes around. Lombard goes to number 2 spot. 4 to go. Right now, if I'm Alex Filter, I do not want to see a yellow flag, because that will seal the race. Alex Filter talking about long overdue. He is long overdue to win a race. 3 to go. Nick Baxter needing to hold him off for 3 more laps. Here we go. It'll be 2 more to go for Nick Baxter. Alex Filter has a lot of ground to catch up with. Jonathan Gators is in 3rd. 4th right now is Eric Matthews. Daniel Schwab rounds out the top 5. Then Skylar Harris, Chantel Ibarra, Tim Walsh, Levi Shones, and Stephanie Naylor rounding out the top 10. White flag, 1 more lap to go. 4 more left-hand turns for Nick Baxter. On this wacky, bizarre day here at Martinsville, we're going to finish this race with a checkered flag as 2 more left-hand turns for the Daly's Juices Pontiac of Nick Baxter as he will win the Subway 500. Alex Filter will finish 2nd. Jonathan Gators will finish 3rd. Eric Matthews, who was dominant all race, will finish 4th. And Daniel Schwab will round out the top 5. Then it will be Skylar Harris, Chantel Ibarra, Tim Walsh, Levi Shones, and Stephanie Naylor. Then it will be Tim FIEGEL, Colin Cropley, Josh Osborne, Alexander Dawson, Keon Shaw, Justin Acosta, James Qualls going nice bounce back to 17th after being a lap down. Dylan Poteet, Sasha Dawson, Connor Breton, Bob Marshall, Ryan Cooper. Then 1 lap down will be Joseph Lombard, Ray Castor, Dylan Kilburn, Liam Campbell, Johnny Gardner, Michael Dawson. Then 2 laps down will be Faith Johnson, Kathy Cantara, SKYLYNN Carlson, Fred Christopher, and Dylan Ruiz. Dylan Hughes is out of the race. Then it will be Trey Campbell and Zach Carlson. And then, of course, your other DNFs will be John Dawson, John Acosta, Jennifer Hughes, Keith Batson, Trent Dunham, and Austin Hughes. But on this wacky day ends the right way with the checkers. And Nick Baxter, nosing one out, he did. Get the win here at Martinsville. Looking at the points right now. Keon Shaw still holding on to a points lead. Starting to dwindle a little bit as Eric Matthews starting to close the gap somewhat. 162 points separate Eric Matthews from Keon Shaw. Then Ray Castor, Stephanie Naylor moving up to 4th. Actually staying in 4th. Ray Castor actually moving back up into the top 10. Which is really good. Zach Carlson drops to 5th. Then it's Connor Breton, Colin Cropley moving up to 7th. Liam Campbell dropping to 8th. Josh Osborne is in 9th. And Nick Baxter, with that win, gets him in the top 10. Jonathan Gators, Dylan Poteet, Tim Walsh, Chantel Ibarra, Daniel Schwab, Levi Shones, Kathy Cantara, Dylan Kilburn, Trent Dunham dropping to 19th after that DNF. Keith Batson will be in 20th. Then Alexander Dawson, Tim FIEGEL, Lombard, Alex Filter, Dylan Ruiz, James Qualls actually tied with Ruiz, Trey Campbell, Sasha Dawson, John Acosta, SKYLYNN Carlson, Skylar Harris, Faith Johnson, Jennifer Hughes, Justin Acosta, Bob Marshall, Ryan Cooper, Fred Christopher, Johnny Gardner, Austin Hughes, Johnny Dawson, Dylan Hughes, and Michael Dawson rounding out the field. So next race on the tour will be the Auto Club Southern California 500, home of the great finishes. Could we have another one here?